Welcome guys, I'm HOJ, and in today's video I'll be playing a Boros tokens deck. First I'll kind of go over how the deck works over each card, and then after that we'll play 5 best of 1 standard ranked ladder games, and then after that I'll just do a quick recap and closing thoughts. In the description of the video you are going to find the playlist. You'll also find playlists for some of my other decks, such as Mono White Life Gain, Boros Burn, if you want to check out some of those. And then also there will be links for the deck list, as well as the win rate percentage stats, and also a subscribe if you'd like to subscribe to my channel. So let's go ahead and jump in. So Boros tokens, I just kind of put it together today. We just went through the reset. I think I am now gold 3 after reset. So just kind of laddering back up for the new month here. Pretty standard tokens deck. It's got some similarities to the old Boros tokens deck. There were a lot of pieces that we lost after rotation, but there are some new fun cards, and one card that kind of sparked my eye was Honored Knight Captain. So this is a 1 white and 1 other human advisor knight. That's a 1/1, and when this creature enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. And then if you pay 2 white and 4 other, you can sacrifice this creature and search your library for an equipment card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. So this kind of made me want to try this deck because there is a cool new equipment, which is Celestial Armor, which is 1 white and 2 other as a artifact equipment, which has flash, and then when this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, and then also equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has flying, and it has an equip cost of 4. So this is kind of cool. If you end up getting up to 6 mana, you can essentially just have protection on a stick, because when you go and find it and put it in play, it will automatically attach and give the creature that you want hexproof and indestructible. So it's kind of neat. And then in addition, it also gives it +2/+0 and has flying. So this is a 1/of as a tutor target with 4 copies of Honored Knight Captain. This kind of replaced the Resolute Reinforcements that I had tried in the past for this deck. So let's kind of go through the rest of the cards here. So in our 1-drop slot, we've got 4 copies of Novice Inspector, which is fantastic with Warden of the Inner Sky. It is a 1/2 for 1 white, which is a creature human detective, and when this creature enters, you investigate. So you create a clue token, and then you can pay 2 mana and sacrifice this clue token to draw a card. Nice little value, 2 for 1, and a nice way to kind of, again, trigger Warden of the Inner Sky. We have 4 copies of Seasoned Warrenguard, which is fantastic in this deck. So there's tons of tokens, like almost, I think about a third of the deck creates tokens. So this is a 1 mana for 1 white, 1/2 Rabbit Warrior. Whenever this creature attacks while you control a token, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. And so it's very common to be able to activate this on like turn 2. You play this turn 1, turn 2 attack for 3, and it's just a good offensive creature. 4 copies of Warden of the Inner Sky, which is a great value engine. 1 white for a human soldier, which is a 1/2. And as long as this creature has 3 or more counters on it, it has flying and vigilance. Tap 3 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control to put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and scry 1. Activate only as a sorcery. So basically, you play this on turn 1, and then like Novice Inspector creates a creature and a token that you can then use to activate this on turn 2, for example. You also have 4 copies of Honored Knight Captain, which creates 2 bodies, a 1/1 and a 1/1 token, which you can then also use to activate this on turn 2. In addition, you've got 4 copies of Fortress Kinguard, which is 1 white and 1 other for a dog soldier as a 1/2. When this creature enters, it endures 1. And so when you endure, you either give it a +1/+1 counter, or you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. And you basically always choose the token. So you have 2 bodies for 1 card. So again, If you go turn 1 Warden, turn 2 Fortress Guard, you can then just activate it on turn 2, which is fantastic. 2 copies of Regal Bunnicorn. This is kind of one of your payoff cards. It's 2 mana. It's a 1 white and 1 other rabbit unicorn, and it has power and toughness equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. So this does also get bigger from like Novice Inspector's artifact token, for example. But this will routinely be anywhere from like a 5/5 to like a 12/12 in this deck. It's fantastic. I only run 2 copies because, again, it is a payoff card and it's not part of the engine. So it's sort of, it's in question how many copies you want to run. You want to have just enough that you get the nice payoff and it's great, but you want to help also build the engine. And then 4 copies of Case of the Gateway Express. This is a enchantment, which is a case. It's 1 white and 1 other. When this case enters, choose target creature you do not control. Each creature you control deals 1 damage to that creature. And then to solve it, have 3 or more creatures attack this turn. So it comes into play if you have like 3 creatures, for example. They will each do 1 damage to the target of your choice, and then if you attack with all 3 creatures or more, it will then solve it. And then once it becomes solved, creatures you control get +1/+0. So it's a nice removal plus a way to pump your creatures. For the 3 drops, we have 1 copy of Celestial Armor, which again I kind of went over before. This is your tutor target with your Honored Knight Captain. And it's also just sort of a nice finisher here. It's 1 white and 2 other. Again, it's an artifact equipment. It has flash, so you can play it at instant speed, and then when it enters, attach it to target creature you control. This creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And then equipped creature also gets +2/+0 in flying, and equipped for 1 white and 3 other. So a nice way to kind of, like if you put this on a Bunnicorn, it's going to be game over pretty quickly. Just give this like a flying, make it a flying 10/10 or something, and yeah. 4 copies of Sanguine Evangelist, 1 white and 2 other, which is a Vampire Cleric, is a 2/1, which has Battle Cry. And then also, so Battle Cry is whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. In addition, when this creature enters or when it dies, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. So essentially, you get 2 creatures for 1, and then when it dies, you get another creature. So kind of like a 3 for 1. Also, being able to buff your team when attacking is fantastic. And then 4 copies of Imodane's Recruiter, which is sort of our splash. 1 red and 2 other. It's another finisher here. Human Knight as a 2/2, which has an adventure. So if you want to play the adventure first, you can pay 1 white and 4 other to train troops. As a sorcery, you create 2 2/2 White Knight creature tokens with vigilance. And then when you play it as the creature, you can pay 1 red and 2 others, and when this creature enters, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn, and it does buff itself also. So yeah, this is again one of your payoff cards. And then lastly, 2 copies of Virtue of Loyalty. So this is another nice kind of split card here where you have the adventure you can play first before playing the rest of the card. The adventure portion is 1 white and 1 other as an instant. Create a 2/2 White Knight creature token with vigilance. And then later, or separately, you can pay the enchantment cost, which is 2 white and 3 other, which is at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control and untap those creatures. So this is a nice kind of early game creature and a finisher. And then for our land, we have 23 land, and I wanted to be kind of a little heavier on the land count because we have creatures like Imodane's Recruiter where we can really benefit from the trained troops, and also Virtue of Loyalty. This is a nice finisher if we can get to. It's great. Also, the deck is a little mana hungry. You do have cards like Novice Inspector where being able to pay for the extra clue tokens to crack those can be kind of useful. In addition, you also have Honored Knight Captain, which the tutor target costs 6 mana. So getting up there in mana, it's nice to have a couple more lands. 23 sources for the lands. We have 3 Dalkovan Encampments, which is really great in this deck. It is a land that comes in tapped unless you control a swamp or a mountain. And it's worth noting that Sacred Foundry is also considered a mountain, so that helps this come into play untapped. It taps for white mana, and then you can alternatively pay 1 white and 2 other and tap this, and then whenever you attack this turn, create 2 1/1 red warrior creature tokens that are tapped and attacking, and sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. So really nice with all the other kind of creature buffs we've got going on here. 3 copies of Basic Plains, 1 copy of Basic Mountain, 4 copies of Inspiring Vantage, which comes in tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands, so it comes in untapped as one of your first 3 plays, taps for red or white mana. 4 copies of Sacred Foundry, which is considered a mountain and a plains, and as it enters you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. So it comes in tapped unless you pay 2 life, and then it's untapped, and can tap for red or white. 4 copies of Sunbillow Verge, which taps for white, and then if you control a mountain or a plains, it could also, or alternatively, tap for red. And so we have 8 sources that kind of turn it on. We've got 3 plains, a mountain, and then 4 Sacred Foundries, which also help turn it on. 1 copy of Fountainport, which is a way to create tokens, which this deck really likes because we can use those tokens to then attack with our Dalkovan Encampment if we have an empty board. It's also just nice to create more tokens with like Virtue of Loyalty that get big, that help us get Warden activated if we need more creatures, that turn on Warrenguard. It just is all around good in this deck. And then 3 copies of Starting Town, which is another way to get kind of access to both types of mana. It comes in tapped unless it's your first, second, or third turn of the game. So again, in the early game, this comes in untapped unless it's your 4th plus land. And it taps for colorless, or you can tap and pay a life to add 1 mana of any color. So this is the deck, and let's jump into some games. But yeah, when I was looking at kind of the lands, there's really, really good support for Boros decks. Whether the cards are there is another matter, but at least from a land standpoint, there's a lot of really good duels for Boros. Okay, opening hand looks great. We've got access to landed creatures. And again, we've got a nice turn 1 Warden into Fortress Kinguard to get it turned on, or Honored Knight Captain. Okay, let's start off with our Sunbillow Verge. Get Warden going. Looks like we're up against Boros aggro. Okay, and they are respecting it and getting rid of our creature, unfortunately. Okay, so we could just play the Bunnicorn. The only problem with playing Bunnicorn here is if they have the warp creature, that's the 5 mana 4/4, I think it's a dragon or something, comes in with haste. They could just get us if we have this as a 1/1. So I think instead I'm probably just going to play the Honored Knight Captain. Or actually, excuse me, the Fortress Kinguard here, since we have 1 extra point of toughness. And we'll go ahead here. You could make this as a 2/3, but since they can, we just always want to make the token pretty much. We're just sort of a go wide kind of deck. There's, I guess, very few corner cases where you'd want to make it as a 2/3. But yeah, just getting 2 pieces of virtual plastic for one card is always fantastic. are going to take a little bit of damage here, and certainly happy to trade a token for their 1/2. All right, so now let's go for Evangelist. We could play the Bunnicorn here, but as a 3/3, it's still open to like Lightning Strike. We want to get it out of range. Plus, Evangelist is just a fantastic card. And now we got to start racing. Because I don't think we're interested in blocking that. At least not yet. Okay, it's nice pickup there. So now we can go Knight Captain plus Bunnicorn, which feels pretty good. Not sure what they've got here for, I think probably some burn spells, I'm guessing. Playing this as a 5/5, I guess they could use like 2 pieces of removal, so we'll play the Honor Knight Captain first, just in case. Actually, I guess we're just attacking here, so let's just get in first and then play creatures after. Sure, that's fine. Actually, hilariously, we can go Celestial Armor. I think we do here, because then we can also go Inspector. Yeah, this is pretty good. If they want to use another piece of removal, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Getting out 2 pieces of removal was just fantastic there. I guess somewhat soon we'll want to consider chumping, but right now I think we're still just trying to race. Especially after getting rid of 2 pieces of removal. All right, so let's just push in first and then see what they do. Nice little 9/9 Regal Bunnicorn. Feels pretty good. We can equip that next turn and swing in for 11. Unless they have a flyer. Or I guess for 12. Okay, they might get there. If they have double Boros Charm, I guess they just get us. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, and then now with the Nemesis. So I guess we should have chumped that last one. It's an interesting call. I mean, we saw 2 pieces of burn go. Maybe we should have been a little bit more careful with our life. But yeah, unfortunately, they got us here. All right, 0 and 1. Although that was a fun game. I did enjoy that game, even though we lost. Okay, opening hand looks good. Yeah, nice little turn 1 Warrenguard into Inspector plus Warrenguard feels pretty good. Okay, so we'll lead out with Inspiring Vantage into Warrenguard. Okay, is this the artifact blue-white deck? I think it might be. I guess we could go starting town is fine. Although if we go Sacred Foundry, then this comes in untapped, and I kind of like that. So I think I'm going to go Sacred Foundry here. Now, if they have the star, whatever it's called, the 3 mana get all of your 2 or less things, it's pretty rough. So they could certainly blow us out here. Be super awkward. But if they haven't got it, we're flying high. They didn't have it, so that feels good. Yeah, and I don't think you really play soft there. I mean, I suppose, like, to play around it, you could maybe go, like, double Inspector instead, but, I think you just walk into it. Now, I guess if they have Day of Judgment, it's rough, but we get a little bit of damage in. They do have, like, Split Up also. So they have a fair amount of mass removal here. I think we just have to just kind of deal with it. Okay, they do not have it. They're trying to go for the whatever thing that makes 4/4s or that makes artifact creatures. Oh, that's pretty good too. Yeah, that's real good. Pinnacle Starcage is such a disgusting card. Luckily, we still have Evangelist, so that feels good. We need Encampment because we need 4 mana, I think. Yeah, I think we just go Encampment here. It's a little, like, Gateway doesn't really do enough, and, like, Gateway plus Inspectors, it feels a little kind of weak. So I think we just go for... Yeah, I think we just go for the Encampment attack here. Now, I don't know if this triggers at the right time. Oh, that's sweet. We get the extra pump. That's awesome. I wasn't sure if that was going to work. Yeah, that Star Cage is so good. Try to hope for a miracle here, but we're already pretty behind, unfortunately. Ah, another Star Cage. So brutal. That might just be it right there. It's pretty hard to come back from double Star Cage. I think this is one of our worst matchups, just with Star Cage. And they functionally have like 8 copies of it because they can repurposing bay anything into it. Yeah, we're not dead, but we're basically dead. Guess we'll, like, I don't think there's anything we can even draw that takes us out of this. I guess we'll, because they just make like another, yeah, I think we're just dead here, basically. Okay, not an amazing start, 0-2. I do like this deck, even though we're losing. I do like this deck. Yeah, opening hand looks great. Super excited about this one. So we can either go like Warrenguard into Knight Captain, or I think Warden's probably better because it has like the scry. We don't do as much push damage, but I think just getting Warden going feels pretty good. And it's like a nice threat over time. Okay, I will upgrade to a Kin Guard. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can find that land. I mean, that's not a bad card, but I think we just want land. This is the kind of start I'm talking about. Yeah, let's just keep going. There it is. Unfortunately, it's not an untapped land. I mean, it's a good land to have. I think I'm going to be a little greedy here and just go for, see if I can find an untapped land. Case is really good next turn. I think we, what have they got? Sure. Yeah, I think we just case here, even though they don't have a creature. Because it just represents more damage. We got him on the ropes. At least that's the hope. Did we go wide or did we go tall? I think we just go wide here. They're at 5. Like, this would be a 4/4. But I think we just want to go wide. Yeah, because even if they get rid of the enchantment, we still push for 5. What do they got? You're gonna need more than that. Okay, what does that do? Okay, alright, they got there. They stabilized at 1. I think we just go for another Knight Captain. Actually, I suppose we go for a double Warrenguard here. This might be overkill. Maybe we don't extend in case they've got like a board wipe here. Yeah, I was probably a little greedy to put them both down. I guess I just have no idea what this deck is. Have we got all... They could maybe make a bunch of creatures or who knows. Did we get there? Yep, all right, 1 and 2. First win. Okay, opening hand looks great. Couple knight captains, kind of get things going. Ooh, that's a nice pickup. Man, triple case is pretty ridiculous. We got your next 3 creatures completely on lockdown. Yeah, doesn't stand a chance. God, can we almost kill them with this? This would be 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. We can get them down to 2. But yeah, we're just going to kill this right now. Don't want them to get any kind of funny ideas here. Scoop them up. What do you say? What do you say? Sure. 4/4 is not going to do it. I think this is just, yeah, this is game. Swing for $1 billion. All right, 2 and 2 coming back. Hand looks great. All right, lead out with Warrenguard. Do a little pain into Fortress Kinguard. Next turn we can play Encampment and Knight Captain. That's no fun. We don't like Authority of the Councils. That card is mean. Ugh. Okay, considering this is mono white, I suppose we should be a little careful here. Like if we go Warden plus Knight Captain, they go like the star whatever thing. They just completely get us. But I think we just maybe we just like make them have it or not. I think that's kind of the plan. Because like we want to like they probably have Day of Judgment. We need to like get them before that. So yeah, I think let's go ahead and do Warden plus Knight Captain here. And I think we just push, just because we're on a clock here. We can't really use Warden to its full effect. Actually, with Authority, yeah, we're only kind of gaining back as much damage as they will have gained. But Authority is super good against this deck. Oh, Split Up. I forgot about Split Up. That was super awkward. Okay, yeah, playing those 3 cards is probably completely wrong. Lesson learned, hopefully. That was like a nice 5 for 1, something 4 for 1. Yeah, it's pretty good. Authority plus Split Up is kind of funny. I think we start just making tokens. Can try to like claw our way back into this game with Recruiter, but yeah, that was a big mistake on my part. Man, Authority is so good. Okay, we can actually go and find the equipment. I think we're better off making 2 knights. We don't... I suppose actually like their tokens will be bigger than ours, which is kind of sad. So I think we probably do want to trade here. Can they just... Let's see. They can just make it big next turn, hit us for 3, 6, 9, 13 for Xaxes. Oh god. Yeah, we're having problems with this game. Let's leave it at that. So to have a chance, I think we attack with these 2. Gotta hold 1 back so they don't just kill us. Okay, I'm thrilled if they want to trade. Yeah, I think with the control player, they don't typically look at like the aggro player angles of just winning the game right out. I mean, they're doing fine, but okay. Well, that's not bad. They've got Authority, which is rough. The nice thing is that these make tapped and attacking creatures, which is really nice. So they will gain life off of it. Oh god, actually it's just kind of pointless because they're 1/1s, and so they'll gain a life for each of them, so it's almost not even worth doing. We can use the map tokens though. That doesn't really help us. Also does not really help us. Yeah, Authority I think is just super brutal here. I think we're just dead, unfortunately. But we'll play it out as best we can. Because if they just go to level 3 here, yeah, it's pretty rough. That'll do it. Okay, so 2 and 3. I definitely made a big mistake on this last game, but I do like the deck. I think it's fun. If you like token decks, maybe check it out. Let's take a look at the stats here. 1 second. All right, so yeah, 40% win rate currently. Just have done these 5 games with it, so what would I change? I'm not actually sure what I would change, or like potential cards that you could bring in or take out. I think, you could also put in Hop to It, which is 3 mana and makes 3/1/1 rabbit tokens, which is pretty nice in this kind of deck. I think I chose the like Sanguine Evangelist just because this also gives you Battle Cry. I mean, you could also make room for, running like more 3-drops if you wanted. And what is my verdict on Honored Knight Captain? I actually do like this card. I think that this could be good, especially in a heavier mana version of this deck. Whether that's good or not, I have no idea. But the Celestial Armor seems like a fun go and get card for 6 mana to protect anything. And then I do really like Case. I think it's great. Fortress Kinguard is fantastic. How many Regal Bunnicorns you want to run, I don't really know. I sort of settled on 2. I think the 1-drops are all solid. What this deck might also need is it might need to run some number of Hinterland Sanctifiers just to gain some life, just so we don't die. But I don't know. I guess I'm not sure what else, you would change with this deck to make it happen. The mana, I feel like it worked pretty well. I do like Dalkovan Encampment. I think this is a great addition to this deck. But is this good enough in this meta? Maybe not. But it is fun. So if you have these cards, or if it's not too far to craft some of these cards, you could certainly check it out. But thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate you and your support. If you had fun and you liked this video and you like my content and you want to see more of this type of content, I will be putting out I'll be putting out videos fairly regularly here. So typically they are best of 1 standard videos. So if you did enjoy it, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.